Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jack Gia, and for CNIT 355, my group has decided to develop a My Purdue Academic Plan app. And I have the honor to work beside Landon and Kenny in developing this app. The project was motivated due to fellow students at Purdue who have expressed difficulty in knowing the graduating requirements for their degree track. It's also widely known that academic advisors were always over encumbered by the sheer number of students that they oversee and advise for. This tends to lead to confusion and oversight that delayed graduations for a certain student. The current My Purdue plan is kind of hard to navigate, and because of that, we also don't have a single source that provides all the information needed for graduation. This is especially hard on the enrolling students who were new to the environment, new to this registration system, and don't know the prerequisite of their classes, and they don't even have a future plan for their schedule. In order to address this problem, our group has developed an Android mobile application that will track student progress as they complete their academic objectives. It will also lay out an academic plan of study that will help the student to understand what classes they need to take in order to graduate. It will also include a calculating option for what-if scenario, just like the My Purdue plan. And for incoming freshmen, we have also included an option that would educate them on how to register their classes. In due time, we hope that this app will lower the workload and reliance on academic advisors.
Here are some of the approaches that we used for creating this application. First, we used Android Studio for its IDE and the Android emulator. Then we used GitHub for version control. Next, we used Heroku for its database. And finally, we used our laptops to gain access to all of these applications. On the first screenshot, you can see a generic login page where a user can input their username and password and hit login to gain access to the application. If they're a new user, they can hit the link at the bottom, which will take them to the second page. On the second page, they can input their own information to create a new account. The way we did this is by taking all this information and storing it into the Heroku database. Specifically for the password, we used SHA-256 for password hashing for increased security. So once a user logs in, they'll be taken to their student portal, where they will see a high-level version of their information. If they want to check their current plan, they will click the first button, and they'll be taken to the overall degree requirements page. On this page, the application will show the requirements that they have completed. So for example, if their GPA is over 2.0, the checkbox will be marked. If they have completed their science requirement, that checkbox will be marked, and so on and so forth. Now, if the user wants to check a potential new major or minor, they will click that second button and they'll be taken to the what-if calculator. And our version of the what-if calculator is essentially just selecting a major and minor, and as you'll see in the video demo, once you hit submit, it'll take you to a new page which will show potential classes and other information related to the major and minor. And now I'll pass it off to Landon to show the actual demo.
Currently, our application can successfully check out classes by major and minor using the What If page. It can also allow students to create an account so that they can log in and see their progress and how they're doing. We also have the login feature for where you just input your username and password like you normally would logging into any system, and our passwords are encrypted and hashed. We also allow for self-check off of requirements so that a student can easily track how they're progressing throughout their degree. We also allow the student to kind of have a high level of their academic account, just looking at their username, their major, what's their GPA, that kind of thing. On our next slide, we will have a live demo to show you where we are at right now and our current results for our project.
So as you can So as you can probably tell, we still need to complete our database design and implementation. In addition, we need to add more test data for future use case testing to make sure our project is as perfect as can be with the least number of bugs. And finally, with the advice of Professor Min, we're planning to talk to ITAP to see if they can sponsor us for this project. And yes, we know that two of us are planning to graduate this semester, but if this project does gain momentum, we're more than happy to continue working on this project for not only our own experience, but for future Purdue students.
So for individual contributions, Jack was responsible for most of the front end design and setting up our GitHub repository so that we could all easily collaborate and work together. He built an outline for us that allowed us to easily build the back end and the functionality of our project. I worked on updating kind of the design when changes needed to be done as we are working on the back end, and I focused on the functionality between each class, sending information, making sure that when you click this button, it gives you back the results you're looking for, logging in, making sure that you're putting the right password, username, etc. Yeah. And then Kenny, he focused on the database design, creation, and implementation. That was probably the hardest part of this project, and we're still working on it, but that was his primary focus. Overall, we pretty much all worked a little bit on everything. We couldn't say that we were all dedicated to one exact idea, which I think worked well for us because we all have a wide variety of different experiences. And of course, we all contributed to presentation, papers, etc. as we worked on this project.